I run all the time. You know, the honesty that speaks these words, I run all the time, that is not coming from running. If the totality of who you are ran all the time, this is the last place in hell you would find yourself. So it is true, the nature of mind is to run. And when the relationship with this has got you, you have no idea you're running. It is only when the shell is cracked, when there is true courage, when there is willingness to remain, that there is the recognition of the nature of running. Otherwise, it cannot be recognized. So the first piece is the recognition that what is aware of this is not running. It is rock solid, even though it may not be the familiar place that is turned to. The second piece is this false notion. The habit of mind for everyone, especially in the early stages, is very, very, very strong. And attached to it is this word, I. I run all the time. But if you watch the nature of mind, the nature of what has been conditioned, it's an imprint. It's already in place. It is like a computer program. Thoughts do not ask to come up, they just come up, and the story is they're yours. Fear does not ask your permission. It just arises and it's called your fear. The impulse that leads to every action just arises, and then the action occurs and the story is it's your action. But the impulse is automatic. It is set off by external circumstances, but the impulse arises automatically, and as soon as you stop and you begin witnessing the process, this becomes self-evident. So far, is this making sense? Okay. So this I that always is failing, when one begins to stop, the first recognition is that the I is a failure. It is how the life of the ego remains. It has been buried and tucked away and covered over with this armoring, because in the center of it there is always some story that does not feel too good. Most do not know, they're unaware. But in the courage and your willingness to remain, there is this recognition. But what comes along with the recognition is that the I is a myth. The running is not my running. It is conditioned mind that there is no one who has any control over. But as this begins to be seen, that I am not the mind is just a conditioned program, there begins to be the willingness to remain. And the remaining and the watching out of what is still is the antidote to the conditioning. It's what frees it. I would not say that you are always running. I would say that you have the courage to remain. And if the honoring of this stays with you, it is only a matter of time before everything conditioned is deconditioned. It is the nature of what happens in this courage which you have been gifted with. And after what is conditioned is deconditioned, all that remains is beauty. And the beauty is not in time. It is eternal. And the recognition is, it is who I am. Sounds pretty good, huh? I'm very glad you are here.
Thank you. I am too.
You're very welcome. You know, there are no levels to this if there is the readiness to come from a place that is unguarded. This is absolute maturity. The rest takes care of itself if there is the strength for the guard to be down. Has to be some internal strength. And that strength is unmoving.